So this brings us to another key result of the election, as highlighted by this morning's cover of the New York Post. Quote, deniers denied, with the paper noting that all the Trump-backed candidates in key swing states who denied the 2020 election results while vying to be their state's top election official lost their race. Joining us now, Nevada's newly elected Secretary of State, Democrat Cisco Aguilar, who defeated one of those Republican election deniers. Also with us, Colorado's Democratic Secretary of State, Jena Griswold. She is chair of the Democratic Association of Secretaries of State. It's good to have you both with us.
So Jena, I would guess that when you got that position, you're like, okay, well, this is a good position to have. It's an important position to have. I feel really good about this.
Part of everything.
I bet you never thought that you would find yourself in this position where actually it was the Secretary of State's races that we were looking at as much as the governor's race.
So pivotal.
To figure out the future health of American democracy. Remarkable. And that New York Post headline, deniers denied. What does that mean to you as an American and as someone who's dedicated your life to making sure that citizens' votes are counted fairly and accurately?
Well, first off, good morning. Thank you for having us both on. And, actually, Joe, I was elected to this position by my fellow Democrats on the heels of the insurrection. So right from the beginning, we knew that safeguarding Americans' elections would be key to this election cycle. But to see the rise of extremism so quickly and election deniers run in every swing state definitely was a big task. And I am just so happy everybody at the Democratic Association of Secretaries of State is overjoyed that we stopped election deniers from becoming Secretary of State in every swing state in this nation where we had a race.
That's amazing. Cisco Aguilar, how important is your win?
It's extremely important, just given the fact that we were able to flip Nevada from a Republican Secretary of State to a Democratic Secretary of State. But also, too, we were able to defeat the chair of the America First Coalition. Being able to take out the leader is a great accomplishment. And it shows that Nevadans want somebody who's going to be honest with them, who's going to lead them without chaos, and give a vision that Nevadans want. And the fact that it went in Nevada, I think, shows for the rest of the country. Nevada's going to have the opportunity to elect the next president of the United States in 24. They know that their vote's going to matter. Every vote's going to be counted. And we're going to do the best we can to ensure the security of our election system.
Cisco, Jim Marchins was famous that he said that he was going to fix America so that Trump would win and so that Republicans would carry on winning. When you spoke to Nevadans before the election, were you getting the sense from them that your election was pretty secure because they were going to reject that idea of politics, that they were going to reject the idea that somebody would just put the fix into the system so that Democrats could never win in Nevada? Was it clear to you as you spoke to people on the ground?
Yes, very clear. And it was both in our urban and our rural communities. We spent significant time meeting with voters in the rural communities who have, a strong voice about what our state should be and where we should go in the future. They were concerned that somebody was going to unilaterally walk into the Secretary of State's office and do something to take away the voice of many Nevadans. And when you try to silence a community, that's when we're going to stand up and fight back even harder.
So, Secretary Griswold, what is the work that is ahead of you? What needs to be done?
Well, first off, I do think we have to really celebrate what we just came out of. Make no mistake, we were at a fork in the road. And this nation could have gone down the path of extremism, the big lie, rolling back fundamental freedoms. And I do believe that this is one of the most important midterm elections in America's history. We went down the right path, and we can continue to protect the right to vote. But with that said, the coordinated effort to roll back voting rights is not over. So Democratic Secretaries of State, we are going to continue to push back on the conspiracies. We are going to continue to try to open up access even further to make sure that every eligible voter has their voice heard in the upcoming elections, if you can believe it, the presidential elections that are 2 years away.
Oof. Yep. Chair of the Democratic Association of Secretaries of State, Colorado's Secretary of State, Jena Griswold, thank you so much for coming on this morning. And Nevada's incoming Secretary of State, Cisco Aguilar, thank you as well. Thanks to you both. Thank you for your service.